Okay, in this tutorial, I'm going to help you understand weather station circles and how to use your knowledge of weather station circles to answer a number of different questions you're likely to see. So the first typical question might be to use some information to draw a weather station circle. So for example, here we can see a description of the weather in this place called Ballycastle, which is in Northern Ireland. And we can see there is heavy rain, the winds are 35 knots, and the winds are coming from the northwest. The temperature is 8 degrees, and the cloud cover is 8 octas. Now, you don't necessarily need to know what those things are, but what you do need to know is the weather circle that goes with each of these. So heavy rain is always indicated with this circle, 3 dots. 35 knot winds, we can see 3 large ticks and a half tick. So each tick represents 10 knots. So there's 3, so that's 30, and a half tick indicates 5 knots, so there's 35 knot winds. And a knot is just a measurement of wind speed. The wind is coming from the northwest. Now this from is quite important. So we always think about the wind about where it's coming from. And because it's coming from the northwest, the little arm, this little line, is sticking out, pointing towards the northwest. That's a compass direction. And that indicates the wind must be coming from the northwest. The temperature is 8 degrees, so we write the number 8 up to the top left-hand corner of our weather station circle. And 8 octas, octa is a measurement of cloud cover, and it's the maximum you can get, so it's 8 out of 8. So 8/8 of the sky is covered in clouds, which is the same as saying 100%, so we have a fully blackened circle. If we have a little look at Lerwick, we should now be able to describe the weather in Lerwick, just as was done for Ballycastle, using weather station circles. So if we have a look at them here, we can see all of the typical weather symbols. These are ones used to describe the rain. There's the heavy rain. These are the symbols used to describe the octas of cloud cover. And here we have the wind speeds. Okay, let's just have a little look back, because there is a much more significant skill in how to use these. These are often used in exam questions to describe the weather in a place on a weather map, and then you are asked to explain the weather that you would find in that place using your knowledge of information on that weather map. And we'll deal with that in another tutorial, but let's just have a look at what that means. You might get given a description like this one here. This is the weather in Ballycastle. Why is this the weather in Ballycastle? And you'd have to look at the synoptic weather map, and using your knowledge of isobars, your knowledge of weather fronts, you would be able to give reasons for why this is the weather, as well as your knowledge of air pressure. However, you might not be given a written description. You might just get given a weather symbol like this one for Ballycastle or this one for Lerwick. We'll see that in another question. The first thing you should do is write out a description of the weather in your place. So Lerwick, it's 4 degrees, 1 octa of cloud cover, southeasterly wind, 10 knots, and no rain, because we've got no symbol here. Now, once we know that, we then look at our synoptic weather map and we look for the evidence that supports the fact it's 4 degrees, 1 octa, southeasterly wind at 10 knots with no rain. That's a very common question in exams, to get either a synoptic weather symbol and then asked to explain the weather, or given a description of the weather in a place and then being asked to explain the weather.